What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's football preview video. There's a massive Super Sunday clash kicking off this weekend in the English Premier League, so please join me for about 10 minutes as I talk about the major clash that is taking place this Sunday on the 23rd of February at the Etihad Stadium that sees Manchester City host Premier League leaders Liverpool. We start things off with the home side here being Manchester City. The last 5 fixtures for Manchester City have ended in 2 wins and 3 losses, and the Citizens' last match was an unfortunate 3-1 loss away at Real Madrid in their Champions League playoff earlier this week. In their last 5 fixtures, Pep Guardiola's team have scored 10 goals, but they've conceded way too many with 12 goals. The first player I have to talk about here is somebody who I expected to be more defensively reliable for Manchester City. Brazilian goalkeeper Ederson has 6 clean sheets in 26 appearances, and he has conceded 41 goals. Usually Ederson is a strong, solid goalkeeper with great reflexes, but I think this season he's come up too many times in situations where he's been exposed time and time again. And I think City really need to work on the entire defensive structure in order to allow Ederson to look less exposed and vulnerable. Next up in the midfield, I want to talk about somebody who I think is going to control the tempo of the game. German central midfielder Ilkay Gundogan has 35 appearances and he has scored 2 goals and contributed 2 assists. For me, Gundogan operates as the conductor in Manchester City's midfield. He's a great passer of the ball. He has that ability to just influence how the game is played, and he really knows how to control the game from those central areas. Creating chances for Manchester City, I want to talk about Belgian attacking midfielder Kevin De Bruyne. In 26 appearances, De Bruyne has 3 goals and 6 assists, and I think he operates as the primary playmaker in Manchester City's setup. Kevin De Bruyne can score, he can dribble, he can pass, he's got tons of creativity, and if you give him too much space in those gaps between your defense and your midfield, Kevin De Bruyne will just poke holes all over in your defensive setup. Tactically for Manchester City, I think Pep Guardiola is going to want his team to stick to their possession style of football. The midfield plays such an important role for Manchester City. Their dominance in the center of the pitch allows this team to just dictate the tempo and the speed at which the game is played. To that end, we've seen Manchester City line up many times this season in a 4-2-3-1 formation. That double pivot in midfield is used just to sort of cover for the defenders and give them a bit of stability in the heart of the pitch, but it also allows them to distribute the ball all over the pitch. It gives Manchester City so much control in those central areas. For the attacking players, those 3 midfielders in front of the double pivot and of course the target man, they just need to find the space, and those passes all over in that midfield will find them. Okay, on to the away team. Now, for Liverpool, the last 5 fixtures for the Reds have ended in 2 wins, 2 draws, and then just 1 loss. Liverpool's last match was a 2-2 draw away against Aston Villa in the Premier League earlier this week. And in their last 5 fixtures, Arne Slot's team have scored 10 goals and conceded just 6. I think a large part of why Liverpool have been so good defensively this season has got to be Dutch centre-back Virgil van Dijk. A true leader in this team, Van Dijk is solid and reliable, and in 35 appearances, he has 3 goals and 1 assist. I think with Van Dijk, his main attribute that I want to highlight here is his ability to just motivate and sort of inspire all of his teammates just by being on the pitch. Sticking with the Dutch contingent of Liverpool, I want to talk about defensive midfielder Ryan Gravenberch. In 35 appearances, he has 2 assists, and for me, Gravenberch is a real box-to-box midfielder. He's aggressive, and to that end, they use him to just sort of win the ball back in those midfield areas with his great tackling ability, and then just cycle it forward to that front line who are just looking to chop the defense into pieces. Speaking of that front line, the main culprit here is definitely going to be Egyptian right winger Mohamed Salah. In 37 appearances, Salah has scored 29 goals and provided 20 assists, and I think right now This is a winger who is in the best form of his life. Mohamed Salah is such a creative player. Wherever he is, he can score, he can create, he's got tons of pace. So he's doing all of these, creating chances and scoring goals at maximum speed. Tactically for Liverpool, I think coach Arne Slot is still going to want his team to play on the counter-attack. The front line is where it's all happening for Liverpool. These front players combine at top speed to just catch the opposition entirely off guard, and I think to that end we will see Liverpool still lining up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. The lone striker up top just helps to find space and create more movement up front so that the other wingers can just take advantage of those spaces that are left behind and then just exploit the defense when they're caught off guard. Liverpool have this ability to just transition from defense to attack in a split second, and before the opposition even realize they've lost the ball, they're picking it out from the back of their net. Looking at the head-to-head between these two teams, the last 5 fixtures between Manchester City and Liverpool have ended in 2 wins for the Citizens, 1 win for the Reds, and then 2 draws between the two sides. So it does look like City have been in control of this fixture in the last few seasons. In terms of goal output in those last 5 fixtures, Manchester City have scored 9 goals, while Liverpool have scored just 7. So there too, it does look like the Citizens are fully in the driver's seat here. But if we look at the Premier League table right now, it does tell us an entirely different story. Manchester City are 4th with 44 points, while Liverpool lead the way in top spot on 61 points. So it does show that even though these are theoretically the two best teams in England, the gulf in class and performance this season has been massive. I think for City, a large part of that is due to the defensive injuries they've had this season. Players like Manuel Akanji, Nathan Ake, John Stones and Ruben Dias have been injured for a few weeks, come back and then picked up an injury again in that match. The most recent casualty is John Stones, who had to be taken off against Real Madrid earlier in the week. The absence of Rodri has really affected Manchester City as well, but now they've brought in Nico Gonzalez to sort of compensate for that loss of a defensive anchor. And I hope that going forward, he's able to just sort of take a lot of the pressure off a player like Rodri and just give Manchester City more options. For Liverpool, the only real defensive concern they have coming into this match is Joe Gomez at centre-back. But with two reliable centre-backs like Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate, who has shown major improvement this season, I think Liverpool are perfectly fine there. Right now, I think this match is a war of ideologies. Manchester City use their possession style to just slow the game down and then pick up the tempo using their midfield whenever they want to. But with Liverpool, it's playing the game at breakneck speed all the time. It's high octane, high action football with the forward line looking to constantly apply pressure on the opposition defenders. Manchester City has scored in their last 5, which is a major positive for this team, but they've only kept 1 clean sheet. And when you couple that with the high goal margins that they've lost by, it shows that right now Pep Guardiola's team are very, very fragile in the defense. For Liverpool, they've also kept just 1 clean sheet, but they've scored in their last 5 fixtures against Manchester City, and I think that bodes very well for Arne Slot's team. I think right now, in terms of ambitions, Manchester City really just need to stick to the FA Cup. It's the only competition that they can realistically win, obviously having been knocked out of the EFL Cup and the Champions League, and they are nowhere near competing for the Premier League right now. So I think the FA Cup is definitely where they need to be. Thankfully for Pep Guardiola's team, Liverpool have already been knocked out of the FA Cup, so they don't have to worry about dealing with them in their competition. I think though there has been a bit of an issue for Liverpool when it comes to travelling to the Etihad. It has given them a few issues and they've struggled to win at that stadium. The Etihad is usually a fortress and Liverpool have really struggled to breach it in the last few seasons. But City have been very lackluster at home as well, losing to Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United already. So Liverpool will definitely be thinking they have a good chance of getting 3 points here. Nevertheless, I do think that Manchester City tend to up their game when it comes to playing against Liverpool, and I think we will see a better version of Pep Guardiola's team in this fixture. It is very important for us to remember that in that loss against Real Madrid, Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Mateo Kovacic, and other important players for Manchester City were actually rested and left on the bench. And I think that means they'll be fresh coming into this one. That means Guardiola has definitely prioritized this fixture, probably just looking to finish in the top 4 spots and ensure Champions League qualification for next season as well. But I think it is going to be a very difficult task for this team to win at home against a Liverpool team that is looking very, very fluid. My score prediction for this one is going to be Manchester City 2, Liverpool 2. I think both teams put on a real display of footballing action for the neutrals, but I don't think we see a clear winner here. And I think Liverpool will actually be happy with a draw at the Etihad, because right now the distance between them and everybody else is massive.
Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time and the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.